We're been looking very strong this season on DSU's side. We won last week's game pretty handily. So far,
productive analysis so far. So
we're just here,
waiting
for the action to get going. Sorry, right now I'm just pulling up something on my phone real quick. Just letting everyone know that. This game. Yeah, I do have high hopes here. So we're all looking at an exciting night here. I hope we get to see 3 games. That would be fun. Take a little time out of my night, and it would keep it pretty intense. Fixed? Okay. Technical issues slowly being resolved here. We have a little bit of a different setup here at the casting booth than normal. So we're working out the kinks there. Just stalling for time. It's kind of difficult as a solo act. Usually the casters will have someone else to bounce off of to keep a conversation going, but now it's just me and no script. It's possible I'll have someone joining me later. More technical difficulties coming to the surface. Apparently, there is someone off campus joining me to cast, but currently I can't hear him, so I don't know if he's here.
Hello? Can you hear me?
I'm just out here waiting for technical issues to be resolved. Just talk? I'm hearing me twice now, by the way.
So we're live now.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, as the stream figures things out, I'm just going to keep talking you through this. Again, DSU's been looking really good this season. With 1 win under our belt, it was a great performance on all sides. We really saw a standout performance from Crimson Samurai, our mid laner. He had 2 very good games, especially his first one on Caston last week. It was exciting to watch. The pressure's on a little bit for DSU here. It's when you're the winning team, it's always nice to keep on winning, and feels always bad to lose that streak. But the tension in the air is rising as we get closer and closer to the game starting up, I hope, and you can really feel it going either way. Champions that I'm particularly excited to see are DSU's ADC. Sacred Conviction has a pretty well-renowned Aphelios pick, I hear. I'd like to see him play it, but we'll see. As for mid lane, I'd love to see another Cassidy pick to see if Crimson Samurai can keep up that performance. Be very exciting. So, at the end of the day, you're just looking at a 5 versus 5 here of all very good, skilled, and coordinated players who have experience playing together. And the driving factor in these competitive 5v5s is the coordination between both teams. Whoever is stronger as 5 will win, almost always. And you see that a lot with the junglers, the way they play around each other. The way they play around each other, and it's the most cooperative role around the map. So it really comes down to brass tacks in the communications here. The way every player on both teams can articulate what their information is and what they need to happen. That's the driving factor behind almost all of these games. All right, just got word. I'm on my own for this game, and we just got into the draft here. My potential other caster partner here is in the chat.
He's in the chat.
It's unfortunate.
He couldn't join us here today.
We see a Belveth and a Shen band come out individually. From both sides. I think those are both very strong
top laners. Ornn coming out as well.
I like that ban because Ornn provides so much value with his upgraded item slate game that it really, if Ornn's team can make it into that into that point of the game, it's really a done deal. And we see Maokai and Viego come out as band champions, also very good picks. Maokai is a very good first pick for jungle right now. You see that a lot. He's very picker ban and pro play. And the final ban before our picks come out, our first picks, is Shazwani. Something I didn't quite see coming, but I understand it entirely. And we're looking at a first pick here for... I'm sorry, is DSU or Bismarck first pick, guys? We'll see later, I suppose. I don't have that information right now. But Udyr coming out as a first pick. Udyr, always very strong, very good build variety, so he can really adapt to whatever's going on in the game, whatever the enemy team comp he's facing is. And a good counter for that is Ashe. She's a consistent ADC, good with most team comps, and can kite out Udyr pretty well with her heavy slows. She brings a lot of utility for the team with the stun. And second pick for red side will be Amumu. Amumu's usually a jungler, but you can see him flexed either support or jungle. So it's good to have him picked first so you can be flexible. But I'm expecting to see that jungle. And you're seeing a very heavy CC comp here with Ashe and Amumu together. Not much moving going on for anyone they decide they don't want to. And Bismarck here coming out with their next two picks. They come out with Varus. Varus is very good right now. He's always been strong ever since the changes for this season. And you see he's a pretty good combo with Udyr and a very good counter to Ashe. So I do like that pick from Bismarck. And they're following it up with Lux. Lux, pretty good here all around. She brings the damage, the CC, and the saving her teammates with her shield. I like the pick. I don't know if it's as strong as a lane comp if that Lux is going support with Varus. You see a lot of lockdown with just her Q combined with the Chain of Corruption from Varus. Heimerdinger coming out, a favorite pick for DSU support Bruja, and one I like a lot with Ashe. They both have a lot of lockdown control. If she can land a stun or even just a couple heavy slows, Heimerdinger can set up shop, so to speak, in that fight, and it's pretty much unbeatable from there, even if Udyr comes down to help. And with the second wave of bans, DSU comes out swinging with an Aurelia ban, still focusing most of our attention on top lane here. It's understandable at this point in the game, seeing that most other roles have been picked. We're really putting pressure on Bismarck's top laner here, as are they with ours. And it could be a pretty intense lane here because the counter picks have been mostly neutralized. So I could see top lane mostly being a skill matchup. And we see Ryze come out here. Very good ban. Ryze is very strong right now with the changes to Archangel's Staff and Rod of Ages. The fifth ban from DSU is going to be... I would predict another top laner or a jungler. Yep, Silas. Top or mid. Probably mid, though. Also very strong right now. Super oppressive, especially with his ability to get onto Ashe and Heimerdinger and just heal through their more lackluster damage than you would see with most other supports and ADCs. But, you know, the counteracting utility balances that out. Cassante ban coming out. You see Cassante a lot right now in pro play, and in the right hands, he's very dangerous. So I respect that ban. And we're back into the pick phase here. It's DSU's turn. And it's really a wild card here between our mid and our top, seeing what comes out first. And it's a Tristana mid pick. That's very volatile, very dangerous. Tristana's super mobile. Her main goal is just get on top of you and blow you up. So I like that. It's a ballsy pick. And we're looking at a possible Garen pick from Bismarck here. Let's see if they change it last second. Nope, they're locking in the Garen. Very straightforward, very direct top laner here. And they are feeding the counter pick over to DSU. So we'll see what Fuyu, our top laner, is most comfortable against Garen with that fits into the team. Vladimir mid, likely, coming out from Bismarck. And their whole team comp really revolves around quite a bit of magic damage balanced out with the utility and physical damage from Varus and Garen. And on DSU's side, you see just a lot of CC and dive from Amumu and Tristana. And that's nicely balanced out with the Camille picks. You can get in with Tristana and Amumu and lock someone down with that Hextech Ultimatum ult. We're looking at a very interesting game here. I definitely prefer DSU's comp here. They really have the ability to get in on those hyper carriers of Varus and Lux. And if they can do that, which they're all very, very well designed to do, it'll just be a matter of how well Ashe and Heimerdinger can stop Vladimir from being a problem. So, before we get into this game, I'd like to talk about how we're looking here. So, like I said earlier, Tristana is a very volatile mid pick. You could see this snowball out of control both ways because Tristana doesn't have a lot of ways to come back. But if she can get that ball rolling, it rolls hard and fast. And you're kind of looking at the same feast or famine thing with Camille and Garen. Because Garen is such a stat stick and a brick wall that if you lose that first fight, you're probably not going to win the second, third, or fourth. So this game really is a big snowball sitting on the very tippy top of a mountain. It could roll both ways. But I have a lot of faith in DSU. So I very excited to see them get that first kick. And we're just waiting for spectator delay right now. So, yeah. 2 minutes? And we're off. In the loading screen here, we're about to see the game kick off. Very nice skins all around. So with both teams having fairly passive comps, at least at level 1, I would doubt the possibility of an invade here. I'm expecting just a standard 5-point, guarding each entry point of each jungle from both sides, but we'll see if anyone gets particularly courageous. Both teams spawning in here. Yep, you can tell right away from just how they're spreading out that you're not seeing any coordinated assault on the other side here. The big threat here, level 1 from both sides, is Amumu's Q and Lux's Q. They're both these big engaged CC abilities that can keep the enemy locked down for a while. So the emphasis is really on both of those champions. Heimerdinger, always strong at setting up vision early game, just plopping down a turret, letting it see for him. Not much you can sneak by the donger. I was right about this. We have a very passive lane starting off. Vladimir just scouting out those turrets, trying to clear that vision early. Keep them in the dark as much as he can. And we're seeing a topside start for Amumu. Usually that means that you're going to see some kind of bot gank come out, level 3. So that could be a big turning point for the game if that potentially works out. Seeing a red start here from Udyr. Just a standard bot lane leash, so that could really go anywhere on the map. But as they're heading down on opposite sides of their jungle, it could also just mean that both Scuttle Crabs will go uncontested to each side. Right now, Tristana laying down as much poke as she can on Vladimir, and we see a pretty aggressive start from DSU here in the bot lane. It works out. Lux is already down to 1/3 HP. And that's the power of these Heimerdinger turrets. Now that she's that low, she cannot walk up to those turrets without taking damage. That immediately shifts the entire bot lane onto DSU's favor with complete bush control, and it's just free gold for Ashe here. Every now and then she'll toss down that W. Try and deal as much damage as possible. Maybe try and force Varus' pots out of him. Taking that free autos whenever they come up. Top lane, we see some general skirmishing. Just contesting every minion, the usual stuff. Nothing happens here with level 2. Usually you'd like to go for some play when you have that big of an advantage on the enemy laners. But when they're that far back close to their tower, you've already had the advantage. Lux has to take all of her regenerative pots out to heal up. So that's quite a gold advantage DSU has claimed for themselves just with that one play in that bush. That's the advantage you get from not having to leash as a bot lane. Camille pushing into that turret slowly. And this will be around the time where you start getting a little antsy about the enemy jungler. They could really be anywhere on the map at this point, and right now they are in the mid lane. Vladimir, though, being a very safe pick with his W, letting him go completely invulnerable. And he is just out. Bo Sweezy, thank you for the prime sub, by the way. We see bot lane. The heal has to come down here to save Lux from our Ignite. And that shifts the bot lane heavily into the favor of DSU here, as it is now a complete 1v2. But Varus is going to soak up a little bit more XP than Ashe right now. We're looking for a potential dive here from Amumu. The wave crashes, and Varus is in a real tough spot here. And we take it as a 1-for-1, but Ashe does get the first blood. That's 100 gold positive for bot lane. Tristana just very barely missing out on that kill, and top lane is still as even as can be. Still, DSU's all claiming not incredible, but significant leads in all of their lanes. So that may just be all you need for comps like these to get rolling. And Tristana forcing a flash here, actually getting the kill here with her flash and ignite, but maybe trading it 1-for-1 against the Udyr. Not even close. Wing right over the wall and way back into safety. That's the power of Tristana. She gets her leap completely reset on every takedown, so if she can just get in and get out, that's a success. Taking the Raptors here for DSU, that's another big gold advantage. The bot lane, Lux has returned. She's just looking to get some big play off to reclaim the lane for them, but it's not coming down. That might be a plate for DSU. It does. All of that gold plating goes to Ashe. So that's another big gold lead for DSU. Top lane, you still see it be almost completely even. They're both just kind of waiting out this game, waiting for the other to make some big mistake or the enemy jungler to show up. I would say Camille is quite safe in this top lane. She can always just hold her E and get out if any ganks come down. But it's also a very powerful trading tool. So if she's sure that the enemy jungler is bot or mid, she can just use it and probably win that fight. And we see a little bit of a skirmish come down there. But as Camille takes a small health advantage, it's not going to be enough to get anything huge. Bismarck actually pushing into DSU's bot lane right now. We could see something big, but it's possible that we won't. Ashe could just take it back. Look to cash in all that gold she's gotten. Things get a little spicy up top. Camille always has the advantage in those short trades with her massive true damage from her Q. And you see with Garen's insistence on taking those, he can with his passive healing. But if she keeps the pressure up, it's not going to turn out well for him. Top lane is crashing that wave. But Udyr has arrived. Camille could be in trouble here. Nope, she saved her E, and she's out. That's the nature of these dive champions. Sure, they can dive in on you, but they can also dive away from you. That's not something you see here in this bot lane, and very immobile. So any mistake made in the bot lane is going to result in death, more than likely. Ooh, almost like that, but Ashe does manage to dodge the binding. We see a dragon come down here, pretty free for DSU. We don't see, because of that failed Udyr gank, there's nothing much they can get for Bismarck as a trade there. We might see some shenanigans start here with Heimerdinger going for a little bit of a roam. Looks like they're just looking to secure Bismarck's red buff or look for a kill when Udyr comes down for it. But they're just going to take the bramble back for themselves. But Udyr counters with a take of his own. Very smart from him, knowing exactly what DSU was up to, seeing the Heimerdinger go missing. Another trade, top lane. Another one goes in favor of Camille, but another Udyr gank. And he backs out. Yeah, she's a scary lady, that's for sure. Thanks to her vision, she doesn't get caught out. Udyr getting a little greedy on vision here. He might get punished for it. I don't think this will result in a kill, but Fuyu's looking to all in. Tristana's there to help, and we're going to see a kill on Udyr. Another one for Crimson, stacking up his lead in the mid lane. Ooh, the Enchanted Crystal Arrow just barely misses Garen as he has to take his flash for it. We see a lot of prio here in top lane. Bot lane once again crashing in. Just the relentless poke from Ashe and Heimerdinger. You can really see that take the toll on them. And the Amumu gets a sneaky engage here, uses the ult, and we could be looking at another dive on Varus, but he's learned from last time and he's getting out of there. A quick fight mid. Oh, and we see the reinforcement from Udyr. Is it enough to save him? It is. It actually forces a flash off of our Amumu. And you see just a 1-for-0 there on the Lux. Very satisfying for DSU. I'm sure they're perfectly happy with that. Varus coming back up for that CS as he thinks the Amumu's gone, but he still has to be a little safe here. And with Camille taking that advantage top lane, you can see her just force Garen off. Tristana coming down here, looking to get another kill, and the Amumu's here to support. And she gets it. Crimson Samurai is looking very healthy here. This could easily be that snowball I was mentioning earlier. It could turn into a total avalanche for Bismarck. Big wave crashing top. We'll see if we can get a plate or even a Rift Herald off of it. Garen's trying not to let it crash, but he's going to lose a lot of health for it. Yep. As a trade, though, he gets quite a good freeze. He can secure a little bit more CS for himself without giving Camille that pressure, and he can heal up with his passive. We'll see if she'll let that happen. Looks like it. Camille's perfectly content to just keep going for those short trades. That's the pressure she gives off. If you get even a little bit too close to her, she can just grapple onto that wall and onto you, and it's never going to turn out in your favor. Udyr going back to his standard clear, trying to just find another weak point on DSU to try and reclaim some semblance of a lead. Bot lane is just right now a ton of abilities going back and forth. We see the Enchanted Crystal Arrow come down as well as the Corrupting Chain. And it turns out to be a 1-for-1 right now. It's a Varus versus Heimerdinger 1v1, and they both have to back off at low health. Okay, that I would say that's good for Bismarck. Trading support for ADC. We see Tristana being very good at taking turrets just like that, trying to get away from Udyr. Looks like she's probably out if she can make something sneaky happen. Yep. Camille comes down, it's to reinforce, and there's just nothing Udyr can do without dying. We see a bit of a skirmish start up here. It's a 3v3 in the river. One goes down, Udyr's done. And we see both Amumu and Camille's ults come down to get this fight heartily in favor of DSU, and it could be a 3-for-0 here if Garen gets particularly caught out. Yep, Tristana's just too safe to catch, and it's a 3-for-0. In this first game, it's 2-for-9, hearty gold lead for DSU. You could see this really just get out of control for Bismarck, but it's not completely out of their hands yet. We just need to see some big mistakes from DSU and proper capitalization from Bismarck. Lux ulted earlier. I don't know if any of you saw that, so she can't even look for a bit of an opportunity on Heimerdinger here. Maybe going for a little bait here. See if it works out, if anyone gets greedy. And I don't know if Ashe's ult is already back up. It very much could be, and I think if someone walks into those turret ranges, that would be the kill. Varus needs to come up and get this wave eventually, and they're just waiting for him to do that, get a little impatient. But he's being very careful about it, scouting that bush. They're all very worried. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow comes down, the huge stun, with a follow-up from Heimerdinger with a stun and his ult. His ult W coming down, dealing massive damage on that immobilized target. Ashe looking for something here. She just forces the cleanse up, but she can't quite secure the kill. Rift Herald top lane, securing quite a bit of gold for DSU, and now it's just running away from Udyr. I don't think Ashe gets away here. Yep. No. Not much you can do there, being that pushed up when an Udyr shows up. He just has that heavy slow and pretty decent damage. But that gives us a lot of prio for top lane, and he's looking for the dragon. I don't know if he can get it with Tristana being this strong. She comes down, just gets the straight assassination on Varus, and she has her leap reset. She uses it right on top of Udyr. Got a little bit too greedy there. We see this dragon still fluctuating for both sides, and takes that Q, forces the flash out of Vladimir. DSU's probably just looking to hold them off until they can get more numbers here. Nope, they go for a very good Amumu ult coming down from Tank Eyes. He does die for it, though. Oh, no, he doesn't. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was the kind of play DSU was looking for there, just to secure this dragon in their hands, as well as the scuttle, most likely. Bismarck looking for a little bit of a steal here, but there's not much you can do with being down a smite. Yep, there it goes. Top lane, still looking DSU sided. Look at that huge damage from Camille. Just one ability. And Garen, not having much outplay potential with this simple kit, it was really just looking for Camille to make a mistake. And he can capitalize on it pretty well, but she's very careful. Looking for another good play from Tristana bot lane here. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow lands, and we're looking at a very, very clean dive from DSU here. Just a simple kill. With that big wave crashing, they're probably going to claim the turret for themselves. Tristana looking to secure some vision. Gets a little caught out here, but I think she is out. Udyr catches up. Can she disengage properly? She can't. Oh, there it is. Yep. She just outdamages the Udyr, gets her W back up, and then hops on out. DSU looking for a big reset here. Everyone backing to base. Spend all that gold they've all just secured for themselves. And that will kind of be when the lead snowballs out of Bismarck's hands. DSU is going to need to make a royal mistake here in order to lose this one. But Bismarck never says die, and they're just going to keep looking for some crack in the steel wall that is DSU. We're looking at the game go fairly back to neutral. DSU doesn't have anything to siege at the moment, so everyone's just going to keep scaling up. Ashe has moved to the mid lane now to secure more farm for herself. Heimerdinger clearing vision. And we're really just waiting for the next objective to spawn or for something big to happen in a lane so we can look for another turret. Until then, both sides are just going to be casually farming for themselves, maybe looking for a couple picks. With most sums up on both sides, you're ready to see some crazy fights happen. The Ashe ult misses, but Tristana still manages to get big damage. And that's really some of the big utility you see from Ashe. She's able to just huck her ult down every which way, as it's on such a short cooldown, and it's completely global. It's the kind of thing you don't see from most champions. Heimerdinger gets a pretty good combo there, but he's just a little bit too tanky. Udyr ghosts to try and catch something out. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to. No, Heimerdinger and Ashe are just too good at cutting that out, so even through the ghost, he's not going to be able to get two on top of her. Good poke. And that could secure the second tier for DSU, as most of Bismarck's pressure is bot lane right now. Yep, it's going right. Those second tiers are important because they're just so valuable. They come with a lot of gold and a lot of pressure for whatever lane they go down on. A big wombo combo from Bismarck here, catching Heimerdinger out. And those are the kind of mistakes they're looking for. That gets them a little bit back up the hill. But Camille has gotten to the point where she's so strong that she can just exert constant pressure wherever she is, and they have to match it. And with the rest of DSU's team being so much stronger, that gives them a pretty big advantage. Oh, and we're going back to just his normal clear. And top lane, you do see this be slightly Camille-sided, but they're both just kind of trading waves back and forth, trying to secure farm for themselves. The Ashe ult picks the wrong side of the turret to aim for. We could have made something out of that with Tristana's mobility, but the 50-50, you just lose it sometimes. Tristana looking for more. Vladimir ult coming down. Doesn't look like it's going to get much. Oh, it does. With the combination of the Lux ult, does force the flash out of Crimson Samurai. That's a very valuable tool for Tristana, being such a quick assassin. Without having that safety net of flash, you could see definitely if Crimson Samurai gets a little bit too greedy here, he could lose. He could lose his life, most certainly. And that would be very big for Bismarck, as they've concentrated quite a bit of gold into the mid lane. Vladimir looking for something here with the safety of his W. Doesn't get much out of it. And now it's just another skirmish for the dragon. Amumu goes for something big, catches Varus out in the red buff pit, and Tristana engages on Udyr. She gets in a little bit too close, but we see Ghost come out from Garen, but she just W's away. And with all of those sums and all of that pressure in the mid lane, it's going to be another free dragon for DSU. And DSU is just now clearing out Bismarck's jungle, denying them a pretty hefty chunk of gold. Just continuing to snowball. They know they can play it slow, because even if they let Vladimir scale up, it's not going to be enough. Oh, the Rift Herald comes down top lane. We're looking for something big here. Maybe going to try and secure an inhib through all of these turrets. And force a fight out of Bismarck that they really don't want to take. Yep. Just escorting that. The Assault comes down, but Vladimir catches her out in the process. Can she get away? She can't. Vladimir, the strongest member of their team right now, drops down a nuke on Ash and forces DSU off of the Rift Herald push. That's unfortunate, but we still get a second tier with it. It's good gold value. Bismarck looking for another pick, but they get picked themselves. Tristana, just with her heavy burst at this stage in the game, is almost just as bad as like a Kha'Zix hiding in that bush. There's not much you can do in that scenario. But seeing her top lane, Udyr knows that his red buff is safe. Tries to look for it. Yep. And knowing that most of Bismarck's jungle camps are down, DSU secures their own to increase the gap further. And we're just waiting, possibly for a Baron fight, more likely for another Dragon fight. But they do start the Baron with quite a bit of their team on the top side of the map. It should be fairly accessible for DSU. Tristana going in for another fight. Not even looking for a kill, just looking to keep them away from the top side of the map, to try and discourage them from, don't look at the Baron pit, please don't. There's nothing going on up there. And it works out. DSU secures the Baron, which gives them a massive, massive ability to push. If they had this with the Rift Herald, you'd see that inhib be gone right now. And Bismarck really just looking to turtle up now. You can't fight against a team that has Baron. They just have too powerful of minions. You just had to take the siege. But with this massive amount of pressure from Tristana, her ability to take turrets, her E damages turrets, and she gives herself a massive attack speed boost. So you just see that turret get shredded down to nothing, especially with the Baron minions. And Bismarck just going to give this inhib up. They're possibly looking for the extra gold you get from the super minions coming down your lane. But it's a risky play. DSU could most certainly snowball that into the end. Look at that Camille damage. Wow, that's just what you see with her being that much ahead of Garen. And just laying down a super effective siege here. Garen tries to take the cannon minion, but he can't. And the rest of DSU's team lays waste to their mid lane. The Ash ult lands, and we see a flash from Mumu. Humongous 4-man ult, and that completely secures this game for DSU. Both inhibs are down. A massive top lane pressure. Could see a pick here, with Garen being that low, but they're just going to go for the Nexus turrets here. Having so many men down, Bismarck just can't walk up here. Garen tries to come up to save the game. They do have to back off. We'll see if they can re-engage. Nope. But we're perfectly content to just give Camille all that gold from Garen leaving her uncontested. We catch Garen out. He got a little too greedy looking for Tristana. Tristana's over the wall, but she can just easily leap out. Lux trying to clear the way with her ult. Doesn't work out. DSU is going to take another inhib turret and pressure this next inhib, and it looks like Bismarck can't do anything about it. And that gives DSU full reign over this game. There's not much that even a full 5 team can do against all 3 lanes with super minions coming down. They have to dedicate themselves solely to protecting that Nexus. And that's the real danger of it. Because DSU, it doesn't matter how long they wait now, they can secure as much gold and objectives as they want outside the map. Bismarck will be able to do nothing about it. You see everyone's concentrated in the base, just trying to keep the minions off. And DSU has Bismarck completely cornered. With the next dragon coming up, it's going to be just a free Dragon Soul for DSU, and that'll probably be the boost they need to just walk down and take the Nexus for themselves. See the dragon just get completely shredded, no time at all. With the big pressure mid lane, DSU really just has to pick a side on how they want to end this. The Ash ult comes down, lands on Varus just by a hair. You see another Wombo combo with the Heimerdinger ult W. It was definitely good attempts from Bismarck, but DSU is just looking a little too strong right now. And that's game. That is 1-0 for DSU. We could see the next game go very similarly. It's entirely possible. GG's indeed. Honestly, that's exactly what we were expecting there, looking at those team comps. They're both just very good at ending up with themselves snowballing out of control. And it just really came down to which team took the early game advantage. And it turned out to be DSU's mid lane, taking a couple kills from themselves and exerting that pressure around the map. So we'll be taking a quick hiatus before game 2 to see if DSU can follow that up with another banger of a performance. We're good? Okay. And we're back. Just holding on to get into game 2 here. Great performance from DSU. A little bit demoralizing for Bismarck, but I doubt it'll get down on their spirits too much. They're definitely going to look for a comeback here.
I cannot.
Oh. I just heard Walker speak a little bit. Yeah. We're good? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can hear you, but you can't hear me. Oh, wait, you can hear me, but I can't hear you.
You
That's
can't
what's
hear
going
me.
on right
Okay. Okay. More technical difficulties for the stream. Yeah, we're trying to set up. We've never we've never quite done before with someone off campus helping cast. So a little bit of troubles are bound to come. Just one moment, please.
While he's gone, I just want to say break time. I can hear you. What is up, Brian? Welcome.
Very sorry about that. We're getting into the bands here. Everything should be perfectly resolved. Is that right? Okay. And we see Belveth, Viego, Sejuani come down. Same bands, actually, on both sides here, which makes a bit of sense. You know, all of the bands were pretty good. You see a lot of pressure taken from both sides with all of those. All very good champs. And first pick, Vi. Now that's interesting. Vi brings a lot of damage and CC, as well as a bit of tankiness with her itemization. Another very flexible pick based on just pure build. So I do like that pick from DSU. Now we see Aurelia come down. Aurelia comes down from Bismarck. A strong pick in the right hands. Followed up by a Victor. That's a good balance of physical and magical damage. And both have very good potential to carry. So you're really spreading out your options here for who takes what priority.
Now, I do want to say what I noticed was last game, it seemed like their front line could not handle the DSU. So will they go into a more beefier engage out of them? So far, I'm not seeing that. So with the Karthus, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, for sure. That's something to notice as well. You see Cassante come down as another tanky pick. So we're missing a little bit of damage.
Yeah, I
from
really
BSU,
like that.
but it's
I actually
definitely
like their
coming down
engage
later.
though. That's really good to have.
Yeah, definitely diving in on any backlines.
And that's the big thing too with LeBlanc and a Karthus. Karthus can get blown up, and that's the tough thing. And we'll see. Oof. Very, very squishy.
Yeah, Varus and Karthus. Against LeBlanc, I think she has a bit of an advantage there against both of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna look for. My guess is DSU is gonna ban some type of. What other tanks would there be? Has to be some type of front line out of them.
Yeah, I
For
would
them
look
to
for a
ban.
tanky
Oh, they're
support.
gonna go support. I like that.
Yeah, I think
That's
Bismarck's
pretty
looking for a
good.
tanky support here.
Yep. Have to have an engage here. I wouldn't be surprised with like a who even goes good with the Varus, like a
Maybe a Thresh.
have to have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they can go I mean, yeah, a Thresh or a Moo or some they have to have some type of hard engage for sure.
Yep.
Lockdown, protect. Yeah.
And Bismarck comes out with a Heimerdinger and a Felios
I like the
ban.
Ash. I like the Ash band there.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting because they do definitely not going a tankier support here out of DSU. So I do actually like the Heimerdinger ban from them. Be interesting to see if they go so Vex. That's going to be a Karthus jungle, which is very easy to counter jungle. Especially with
Karthus can
Vi.
get shut down with a good invade.
Yes.
And Zeri coming down from DSU as a backline pick.
Yes, she's actually been pretty strong, especially late game with Vi and Cassante. You can protect her for the whole entire fight. And then you have a Yumi. Yeah, their team is looking very, very beefy. That is a very hard team to get back to Zeri. And once Zeri gets going and the fights last, oof, that is going to be absolutely tough. Now, the one thing they have is, I guess, a Aurelia Vex to get back there. But so far with the draft, not seeing a whole lot of front line there.
I'd have to agree. You can definitely see every member of Bismarck's team get blown up here. Something LeBlanc excels at.
Yeah. So and I do also like the Yumi pick with the Karthus to heal everyone as well, just in case he does try to blow everyone up during those long team fights.
Yep. I do like the Yumi pick as well here. I think it works really well with the hyper carry in Zeri and a little bit in LeBlanc, and it can really support the tankiness of Vi and Cassante.
Exactly. Yep. I think overall, based off the draft alone, it does look like I would have to give DSU the upper hand. I mean, if they can pull it off, I mean, they do have the Sona to help out with the engage, but I don't know if they can protect Varus or Karthus or.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they relied solely on the tankiness of Cassante and Vi went for a more assassin-y build just because of how many squishies they have.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that the meta for Vi is the Radiant Virtue, which is unbelievably good.
Yep.
So she's not really going to be, the full-on tank. So she'll get her she's going to go Chem Punk to start, and then that Radiant, which is absolutely such a good item. So that's just going to help out the team's healing even more, especially when they dive. It's going to be interesting to see how this will all play out.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see because Bismarck definitely has a super volatile comp here. Because with that much damage, if you get the ball rolling, I mean, that'll be that.
Yeah.
Just another about a minute and a half of spectator delay before we can get into the game here. It's kind of hard to stall for time.
So the one thing, Yeah. So the one thing they can't have to do is make sure for the damage wise, obviously they have to make plays earlier on. You can't let this thing drag out, especially if Cassante gets going. It's almost impossible to kill him. You don't have
Yep.
any bruisers to help out with him too, so he'll just be absolutely running around in those team fights, making causing havoc on these guys. So,
Yep.
um, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
and
just ultimately, I'm just go ahead. What do
oh,
you have for us?
I was
Tell
gonna
us one
say,
thing you think.
Sona doesn't really provide the safety net that you need to protect someone from LeBlanc. Just the
Yep.
little shielding and healing from her
Yep.
W, is it? Just won't save you from that much magic damage. Just about to get into the game here, and we're gonna find out if we're right. If this comp really has gone for DSU's favor, which I'm pretty confident in saying it has. And here we go. Both sides let out of the gate, and we're going to see what both teams' plays here are. If we're going to look for any early trades or an invade, doesn't look much like it. We could just see a normal 5-point here.
Yeah, the important thing about the DSU squad is they just want to build up that Zeri and really not fight too early because the trades are going to be absolutely horrible for her. She's very good late game, but early game, her damage output is just a little bit rough.
Yep.
So expect them to maybe play a little bit more passive to start because Vars will have the poke, and Sona, the poke there is just actually so annoying. So we'll see how they can play it earlier on. If they can kind of keep it even, and as long as the bot lane stays even through that early game, I think that is going to open the door up for disaster. I think they're going to really have to make sure they take Zeri out of the game, Bismarck, if they want to actually have a chance with the no frontline team.
Definitely. And that's, I think, the logic behind the cleanse pick from Zeri here. It's just the safest summoner spell you can take. Trying to keep yourself
agree.
away
I
from
like
the enemy
that.
team.
So both sides, it's going to be very interesting, very boring early on because Karthus is just going to go for the full clear. He just
Yep.
wants to literally get max level, level 6 as fast as possible. I'm interested to see if they're going to try to see if they can get Vi into an invade earlier on. It'll be dependent on that push mid, but I don't think it will happen as well. But we'll see.
We will. And you see DSU takes a little bit of an advantage bot lane, matching the poke, but they have extra healing, definitely more than
Yep.
Bismarck with Yuumi. So those even trades are definitely DSU sided.
Exactly. And that is the nice thing to have, especially on a, the scaling champ.
Yep.
Be able to stay in lane as much as possible with the heals of the Yuumi. Everyone loves the cat. Everyone loves the cat.
Yep.
It's a great cat. But yeah, I think their sustain earlier on will be better, but the poke will be absolutely on the Bismarck side. Oh, here we go. Early gank. That's what you love to see. And that's actually massive if they can get the kill
Humongous.
onto a Vi. That's actually major. Now, will we see some counter jungling now that he got the first blood? I
That's
think if he could
interesting,
take
yeah.
Karthus out of the game, that would be massive.
And even just getting that
Karthus
big
roaming up top, I don't
Karthus
think
comes
he can do a
top,
whole
try and
lot.
gets it back. but not this
Uh-oh.
early.
This could be a disaster here. Vi's rolling back up top. Kasante can live for a long time. He has the grasp. Is he? Yep, he went grasp. So this is a kill right here. This is going to
Dodging
be
basically
disaster.
every Karthus Q.
This.
Oh, no.
Oh no. And that is, I mean, if you
That's a
haven't
big
seen
mistake from
Kasante-
Bismarck.
Yes, Kasante get ahead in his lane. I know he didn't get the kills, which is kind of big, but he's up in CS. But getting him those assists and then Vi those kills and possibly a double crab here if he decide to go for it.
Oh, yeah. The Ignite comes down bot lane.
Uh-oh. The
Forces
Forces comes
a-
out. This is what I'm talking about.
Basically
early on
every
in the
some
game.
bot.
It's going to be a tough one.
Yumi trying to secure the 1-for-1 or the 1-for-2, but just barely can't manage it.
Close.
Very close.
And that's what it's going to come down to.
LeBlanc
I
catches
think the
Karthus
bot
out a
lane's
bit.
just going to have to play a little bit smarter. They are up in CS, which is big,
Yep.
but and Kasante absolutely just doing what he wants to this Aurelia top side.
Trying our best to
Oh no.
dissuade
This could be
Karthus from taking
disaster
it.
right here.
Oh,
He gets it.
can he get
Wow.
away?
The clone?
LeBlanc passive coming
Oh,
down.
he jukes him.
Oh,
with
he
the
fell for it.
clone.
A
Holy
good play.
cow, that's impressive. That is really, really impressive. Now that's big. The big thing about this team is if you could just take Karthus out early, and you just have to make sure you stay on the pedal with that because Karthus will eventually get his items and he'll do damage no matter what.
Yep,
but-
for sure.
To take him out of the game this early is major, and hopefully they can capitalize on that. Now the bot side is probably going to play smarter here, especially with the lead. 600 goal lead. Oh, here they go.
They go for another play.
Proving me wrong right here. This is going to be it right here. If they can get on the Zeri, this is big. They're going to do it. On the Zeri.
There it is.
Wow. With the Vi being ahead, this just allows her to just go all over the place and make plays. And this is what you have to do as a jungler. You have to capitalize on your lead and
Yep.
make sure you keep punishing the lanes.
Spreading that pressure all over the map, especially against the Karthus, who just can't do much right now.
Exactly.
He's caught out
Hey,
a little
again,
bit.
If this stun lands, and he's rooted, and just like that, Karthus
There it
is
is.
gone.
Another kill for LeBlanc.
Uh-oh. Really? Ooh.
Bismarck does
He
take
took
it back
out
a little
Vex,
bit
though.
with the shutdown.
He's 1,000 gold lead now.
We're back in a fairly neutral mid lane, I want to say. There's not much both sides can do to each other here, especially with the wave being this close to Vex's tower.
Now, the big thing to remember is that Zeri is going to outscale Varus, and she's already up 20 CS
Yep.
early on.
With the Yuumi as well. Yuumi just looks to always create a hyper carry and stay on them. So having someone like Zeri ahead early is big for a Yuumi pick.
Now, everyone's starting to get to that level 6, so we should be seeing a little bit more here. Once Vi gets that level 6 elite, interesting to see how much of a lead she can bring to the team with that level 6 R that just guarantees that knock-up.
Mm-hmm. It's a powerful
But
engage.
Dante pretty much safe this whole entire lane. Not much can happen there. Now, the one thing I have noticed, pretty much all these lanes can play safe and not have to worry.
Yeah.
Like, Zeri can pretty much get out. You have Kasante, they can pretty much get out. And then, obviously, you got LeBlanc mid, who can bamboozle everyone.
Something we just saw recently that was impressive. We see the
There we
Azariel
go.
come
Going
down.
for an all-in, get that level up.
The
Using
Ignite
that
and the
level
Cleanse
6
secures
advantage.
it. You like to see those
Absolutely.
aggressive plays.
Absolutely massive there. And now the thing is the bot lane actually was only ahead by a few hundred gold there, but that minions the minions and the level XP is huge.
Yep.
So that level 6, and they were still level 5 and taking advantage of it is massive. Now this is going to be an interesting fight.
A 2v2 for the Rift Herald. K'Sante maybe caught out here. No. LeBlanc and Vi work together to save him.
And just as you think that he gets caught out, that man never dies.
No. LeBlanc going for a good trade here. Trying to just secure the pressure so they can get the Rift Herald here.
So that's 2 kills bot and 2 plates bot. So that's going to be a hefty Zeri.
Yep. It's about 1,000 gold for Zeri if she got those plates by herself.
Yeah, so they're almost at a 7. She's about 700 gold ahead of their ADC, which is massive of an
Crazy.
item there.
She's cashed out all of that gold as well, so you're going to see her use the pressure to create even more of a gap there.
Yeah, just look at the item difference there. You got a crit cloak.
And Bismarck just has to respect her at this point.
Now, she does need to play a little bit smarter because they are going to hit that 6. And once you get that 6, it's Sona with the R as well as Vars. So that's a double lockdown there. And with no cleanse, Zeri does need to play a little bit smarter there. And it's looking like, ooh,
A little scary here.
possibly
The
a
Verisol
scary.
comes down.
Yep. And that's going to be a shutdown to Vex.
Wow. Bismarck catches DSU getting a little greedy here.
But wait, the
Oh,
counter to
wow.
that, a 2 for 2. That is actually, I mean, obviously you don't want to trade shutdowns. Uh-oh, this is going to
The
be
Requiem
big.
coming down. Takes out the clone,
Stays
but
a-
not the real one.
That's a
Oh,
flash.
my.
And it does look like her time is up. LeBlanc, unless you have something.
No, and Yumi will fall shortly after.
And that's the scary thing about their comp. You can't be face checking them with all the CC they have.
Yeah.
That's just deadly. And then you have Vex to be able to R from distance.
And
That
that's
is the
that's
LeBlanc.
Bismarck back in the game.
Yes.
Aurelia looking for something here. But K'Sante is just too heavy.
Yeah, he's going to go that. I believe he goes Iceborne Gauntlet to start, so that this lane is basically almost unkillable for Irelia, just because this man has the grasp as well as the so much armor early on.
Yeah. And it really is scary that he's just a looming threat, because eventually he'll be so tanky and deal so much damage. And she can't shut him down early.
The extended fights will definitely benefit DSU, so Bismarck should try to go for some picks here for objectives. So it's going to be interesting. There's still the Drake up. Been up for a few minutes now. It'll be interesting to see how these two teams go about it. Are they going to group up for 5 and try to just get the first Drake out of the way? Which I believe is the... What is that, Drake?
Is that Mountain? I can't tell. Skirmishes popping up all over the map right now. Hard to keep track.
And then Aurelia is going to die topside, it looks like, with the R. That's just so tough.
Yep.
K'Sante being able to just go from a tank into just straight up damage is impressive. Now, this is going to be a Rift, possibly. It looks like it. Rift into... Oh, nope, just going to grab the crab there top.
Bot lane's fairly even, but pushing into Bismarck, so Dragon pressure is for DSU right now. We'll see how both sides play around their objectives.
Now, the Vars is going on hit, so his poking's not going to be as crazy, which is going to be interesting going into a Zeri who is almost, 50 CS ahead here.
Yeah, and even with that on hit, he's never going to match her sustained damage in a team fight, so
Exactly.
I would have gone just straight lethality here.
And he's easy kill like that.
Yeah.
That is a tough one.
Karthus is there to back it up. Vi's going for plays here against Vex top lane.
Arthur's coming in with the R.
Ooh,
That's
a very good stopwatch.
Oh, God. That's a good stopwatch right there.
Immediate, a great counter to Karthus' Requiem. We might see something pop up here mid lane. Really looking to get away.
Just a few pokes.
Oh,
Oh, wow. Really good movement there. The mechanics there to avoid the R. That is absolutely beautiful. Oh, he misses out on the last plate there.
just a little bit unfortunate.
But a lot of damage to that tower, though.
I'm interested to see if Cassante keeps that tower up just a little longer to secure a little more farm for himself, or if he just takes it right now.
It looks like he's going to allow some of that to die. Now, it does look like DSU is comfortable with just playing the long game, not rushing the objectives, and knowing that once the game gets late, Zeri is ahead right now, and you have the LeBlanc to blow somebody up.
Yep. Cassante does end up taking
no
the
one's
turret.
tried to get an objective yet.
We're pressuring for Dragon right now.
Setting up for Drake here. Cassante could roam down.
Heavy burst onto the Yuumi. Oh, clean dodge.
Like nothing. That is going to be an R gone. So that's going to be a free kill almost right here.
There it is.
Wow. And the big thing about this matchup right now is they don't really have much to help out the Vars or any of these squishies once Vi says, I'm going to press R and jump on you.
Yeah, exactly. And taking the Hextech Drake for Zeri, that's very big.
Absolutely.
That's, I believe, 6% attack speed for her.
That's going to be Ocean Soul next. So pretty good Drakes to have.
Mm-hmm. We'll see what the soul is. It could end up being very good. If it's Cloud Soul, that's extremely powerful on basically every member of DSU's team.
Oh, absolutely, with the movement.
Normally, Cloud Soul is fairly underwhelming with just the movement speed, but with Zeri, LeBlanc, that just makes them almost untouchable. Cassante takes a little rush onto Karthus, trying to catch him out here.
And throwing him into the pit. And
Goes
this is
all
where
in
the
the pit.
damage comes in. And he's going to be able to get out, though. He's going to get rammed by the Rift.
Rift Herald finishes him off.
Oh, my. He's going to waste R, which is actually pretty big.
Yep. And it is a 1-for-1 on the jungler with Rift Herald up. So that I would say that's definitely a DSU sided trade. Even with
Exactly. And
Vibot.
right here, you do get the R
Yep.
out of Sona, but you can't really protect him.
Just
And there you
blowing
go.
up Varus.
And that's going to be a tower Bot has a bounty now. And that's going to be 50 CS now, going to be 60 CS bot side.
And just taking Karthus' camps is going to cripple him even more. I'm curious to see how DSU plays this advantage around the map. Try and get Rift Herald, perhaps, or just another turret.
I would guess their bot has to roam up now. I don't think they're going to keep them bot side the entire time. So it looks like LeBlanc may go bot, and then Zeri's going to go mid. Gives him a bit more pressure mid to be able to possibly do something.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly roam up top. That would be my guess right here, is to make that play. Keep that lead. You have to make sure you keep pushing it and keep extending that lead.
We're looking for a Rift Herald, maybe? Or just clearing vision?
Looks like just vision.
Yeah, Bismarck's a little bit too scared to invest in something like that.
And he made another mistake walking into Cassante. Almost.
Always playing the little juking mini game against a Karthus. And we start the Rift Herald.
They have no prio mid. So this is going to be quite interesting.
Yeah.
And they do have prio top. So Cassante's going to have first roam. They're going to give it up. I mean, it's the right choice.
Yep.
I mean, there's no chance you can stop them. They're too far ahead right now.
The
They're,
looming threat of Vi just
4,000
forces them off every time.
4,000 gold ahead. And is Zeri there? Yes. I'm expecting them to drop it mid, trying to crack it open. Once they get mid open, that just opens it up so much more for Vi to roam around.
Good flash with a Sona ult disengage. It's a big cooldown, but it keeps Varus alive.
And there they go, dropping
And there it is.
mid.
I don't think it'll do quite enough to take down the tower, but it gets close.
Looks like they'll get it here, possibly. Are they? No, I don't think they risk it here.
Bismarck has too great of wave clear right now.
Here we
Is
go
this an
again.
all-in?
Misses the R, which is actually pretty crucial, and
Yep, that's
just
the
gonna
death sentence.
easy win. And that's the big thing. Once Cassante gets ahead, what is it? The 400 years of
200 years of collective game design experience.
200 years. It just is. It's almost impossible. And the thing about it is, he has the Iceborne, so you literally can't move.
Yep.
The movement is absolutely cut to, I believe, 20. It cuts it by 20%.
It does, and even with Aurelia's Q dashes, she's just too immobilized by that.
Yeah. So it looks like 25% slow. Yeah, it's a tough one. So he's going to be staying alive the entire fight. So it looks like overall, I think the problem now is Bismarck doesn't have the type of champions to be able to make crazy picks. They do have Vex, who's great at getting picks, but they don't have much of a follow-up because you have a Karthus that's very slow and a Varus that's also very slow. So trying to make plays across the map is kind of tough for them.
Exactly. You'll just be leaving all of your carries alone at that point. And DSU has such great pressure here.
Cryo for the Drake.
And it's going to be another free objective for DSU.
Now, this is a great play by Bismarck. They have to do something, and trying to go up top for this kill is actually major. Now, I don't know how well it's going to be because this man is absolutely tanky, but we'll find out right here. He's kind of playing it smart, and he's going to be out. Wow.
Yep.
No place, and they're going to make the counter play to that with the Vi, and look at that, absolutely shredding
A snap back
the
from
Karthus
DSU.
and Zeri in the back line.
Zeri's a little bit caught here.
Ooh.
Goes down for it.
Zeri
But,
went a little bit deep there.
Yeah. Very good counterattack from DSU there. I like that. Could have gone a little bit better, but such is life. Looking for Sony
Going
here,
for
but
the
she's
pick
just a
here
little bit too
on
fast.
Sona.
A light dive doesn't work out. So with Baron up, I think that's the real focus of both teams right now, with a big emphasis on Siege this game.
Yes, I agree with that one. I mean, you have 340 left. Pretty much DSU is just going to play the Drake game, which is great. They're in a great spot, especially if they can get to this whole point here.
With that Chemtech soul being very good for Cassante.
Wait, which soul is it?
It's Chemtech.
A Chemtech.
Yep.
Now, Chemtech statistically is one of the worst ones, but it will help him out a lot because he does have that ult that drops his health low. So he does get that bonus there. So I do agree with that.
We're seeing Bismarck posturing to catch someone out looking for Baron, but the Vision Plant... Whoop. Yep, Zeri goes down to the
That's
Vexel.
what they're going to have to do. That's exactly how they're going to have to play in order to get themselves back in the game. They have to take those really Bush-type fights, catch them off guard, because they
Always
can't
looking
really
to catch
run
someone
at
off
them
guard.
and expect to win. But here's going to be the counterplay here.
I think Karthus is caught out
And that's
here.
going to be a dead Karthus.
He
Gonna
does
R
ult.
again.
Interesting.
Which I don't think matters. It doesn't really matter too much because Drake isn't up for a bit. But if that's closer to Drake, that's actually very concerning. But that doesn't actually impact him too much. But I do get pushed up. You do have some vision on their side. Now, I'd like to see Bismarck, if they're going to try to make these plays, they're going to have to get their vision pushed up a little bit more in order to help with their comeback.
Yeah.
But again, Karthus down and Azeri mid. She's going to rotate, help out with they don't even need it. They're just going to get it just like that.
DSU starting Baron. I think they're going to take it. Yumi secured good vision there, so we'll know if a steal is happening. It doesn't look like it's going to come down.
So this is big because Drake's going to be up in 130, which means they're going to have the Baron buff.
Yeah. Especially if Cassante just decides to split here, he brings such huge pressure that they're either going to have to give their turrets or match him with 2.
And Cassante's been doing a really good job of splitting and pushing those lanes so they have priority as well. Just have to be careful for the Vex R's. Just have
Always
the
a
Shadow
threat.
Flame, so that damage is pretty good.
Karthus just looking to secure some farm before the dragon fight.
Aurelia and Karthus both top. So it looks like... Oh,
LeBlanc gets a little bold here. I think she's going to get out for it.
and that's going to be a
And
missed
that's the
R,
Vex
too.
ult
That's
down.
a huge opportunity.
With the Vex ult down, I
So
think
with 30,
this
they're
dragon
pretty
is
much
just
going to
free.
have to give up this Drake.
Yeah.
And an R, that's going to absolutely do nothing as well.
Now DSU, without having to worry about the Vex ult, just has complete control over Bismarck's jungle.
I do need to get some of those controls out of the jungle, but with no TPs, I didn't notice this either. Bismarck has no TPs, so being able to help out or TP to any of these dragons or objectives is really tough. But it's going to be a free soul point, which again is massive.
Sante's
for
matched by 3 members of Bismarck's team.
DSU.
If he can get out here, that means he's just wasted so much of their time, and it looks like he's pretty safe. And it's just another free dragon from DSU. And having Soul Point gives them so much pressure every dragon spawn from now on. Oh, another invade coming down.
That's going to be
And we catch Aurelia
great
out.
flash there to stay alive. And the bad thing is they do have the buff here, so this is a lot if they can get this kills.
Yeah.
If Cassante can get the kill here, this is major for top side control.
And he
Completely
ults,
taking over top.
brings
Mid is
Karthus
going to be
out.
open.
And I think that's
And
game.
Karthus is dead.
Not game right now, but I think DSU just got this in the bag. Baron buff should be running out sometime soon, but they're going to make the most of it with this siege.
Yeah, they're going to open up the base completely. They won't be able to finish it here, but pretty much at least 2 inhibs.
Yep, just gives them complete control of the map until the dragon spawns again.
Oh, they're
Looking for
going for the
Nexus turrets
dive
here.
here.
A little bold with
That
members
is
of the team
absolutely
spawning.
ruthless.
LeBlanc just using her mobility like
It
that.
does look like they could potentially just crack it. It looks like they're going for the win here.
Zeri ults, she's looking for a big
Oh, that's
engage
gonna
here.
be-
Karthus ult coming down. It's going to end 2 members
Double
of DSU.
kill there for Karthus.
Casante's just been
If they
hitting,
kite this out, he
smacking
can
that top
actually
turret.
go ahead and...
Vax catches Zeri. And now it's just Cassante and Yumi versus the world.
Oh my goodness. And it looks like he could potentially
He's out,
get out
I
of
think.
this.
Oh,
Oh no.
no, it doesn't look. It,
Yes,
oh
he
my
is.
goodness.
Oh my gosh. They're actually toying with him right now. Mid lane. Wow.
What a champion. Wow. Even with the Yumi on him.
That is how that champion is impossible to kill. Yeah, he probably took 4,000 damage there, and it wasn't even close, especially with the Yumi on top. So now all the inhib towers are gone, and I just don't know what they're gonna have to do here.
Yeah, I don't see a way out for Bismarck here. I think they're just looking for a big
Now
opportunity.
The big thing is with the open inhibs, they have no TPs to actually match. So Cassante can just go whichever side he wants. He's probably going to go top side and try to get top inhib for this Drake and get the soul. But not being able to match that, this man could actually just delete their base.
Yeah. And it's such a time waster having to actually recall to stop Cassante whenever he decides to go for his end. We see another fight go down
Absolutely.
here. Catching Karthus out. And he's forced to ult right now.
And that R is just going to do absolutely nothing. And Cassante's in the back line, and this is an issue. If
And
you
with
don't have
Vex
anyone
down,
to help
I
out
think
with
that's
that,
it. DSU has massive pressure here. They could be looking for the end.
yeah, with that tower being
Zeri going to take the
inhib,
bot
just
inhib.
just to be safe. But that tower, and this is going to be the end. The final stand. Just a very hard game without having the correct front line to be able to protect your damage carries here.
I definitely think this game really just came down to the comps.
Yes, I agree with that. Especially with Bruisers being very good right now with the items. I just feel like having some type of front line is very
Exactly.
important
And
for
that's
that.
game. Another solid performance from DSU tonight. You absolutely love to see another victory. But we had to earn them. Well played to Bismarck. Congratulations and thank you for the game.